Good.
Hey guys, welcome to the Vegan Bougie Talks. And today I have a special guest with me. I'm so excited to have him on. It's a New York well-known photographer, featured in 67 publication, businessman. I would say best easy person to work with, and just an old guy from New Jersey. This is how he jokes about him. Tom Marvel. Hi, how are you?
Great. How you doing out there in, where's that paradise you're in? Hawaii, right?
Yes, doing
Sure. You
well.
got stuck there for the virus. Oops.
Yeah, it was actually really nice to be stuck here.
That's a shame.
So, Tom,
But,
I'm excited to talk about all things I prep for you. But before we start, I just really want to give a little bit more about you for our listeners. So, can you please tell us where you're from, who you are, and what do you do for living?
okay. Well, you can probably tell from the way I talk that I'm from Jersey, so that's pretty easy. Uh, where do I start? You have to go pretty far back.
Okay.
Let's see. I graduated Berklee College of Music in 1977 with a music composition degree, and then played professionally for 10 years all around the area, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, Broadway, cruise ships. I played in clubs you wouldn't want to drive past. Uh, and eventually, like I said, my girlfriend, ex-wife, told me to go get 20s and don't come back. So unless I got money. So the only thing I could do tomorrow for money was carpentry. So I got into carpentry and worked with a general contractor for a while, and that was putting roofs on in the winter and insulation in the summer, and then we had a job where we made cabinets for a customer, and we were just set up in a garage and just used power tools, and we made and I actually liked that. I wasn't getting rained on, and I could stand up, and it was wonderful. So I started making stuff in my father's basement for people. I got a lead about making cabinets for a doctor's office. I took that to a cabinet company that I knew about. They hired me, and then we started making doctor's offices. And then that company went out of business, and then me and the sales manager started our own company and doing the same thing, big commercial jobs all over the city and whatnot. And August 1st will be 30 years doing that.
Oh my,
Yeah.
oh my God,
30, well,
30
you
years.
were at the shop. You were there when we did that powder shoot, right? Remember?
Yes, yes, guys, whoever listened out there, that's a huge factory. I was shocked. How big is that? But I mean, I think you do an amazing job. I saw the cabins into your house, which you made, and that was amazing. I wish you can make
Yeah,
for my home, but you said you only do, big orders, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I only do. If somebody wants a side job, it's a shelf.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Now I want to
Yeah.
know more about your photographer career because that's actually
Okay.
what
Well,
inspired
that's
me a little bit. Like I want to share with all the listeners how you actually ended up to be in 67 publications this year.
well, I started in 2013. I have a tendency to get into something and then I just go out of control. I did that with fly fishing. I did that with boating, and I was like, I used to do photography when I was in high school.
Hmm.
I was back in film and whatnot. But then, of course, I discovered, girls and stuff like that. Kind of like forget that. I'm not going to develop film. So I bought a camera in 2013, and like I said in the little bio that I gave you, if you had asked me what an aperture was in 2012, I would have said, well, is that part of the elbow? I didn't know anything, Zippo, and I really took to it. It was I really liked it, and I watched a boatload of YouTube videos and took some workshops with Peter Hurley and Lindsay Adler and a bunch of other
Yeah.
people, and just started taking pictures. I met you at that workshop there in New York City, and I don't know. I just kept taking pictures, and I kind of liked what I was doing, and other people liked what I was doing. And I really wanted to get into magazines. You know, I'm an old guy, so you know, magazines are a big deal. Nobody reads magazines anymore, but you know, I want magazines, and I've been fortunate. I've been able to submit to magazines online, and they like what I do, and they publish it. So and there we go.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
how
So
old are you right now? And then how old you
right
was when you
now,
started your career?
well, I'm 66.
Okay.
I just turned 66 in April. Yeah.
Oh my God. So if someone is listen, just listen, not watch the video. You gotta open up my YouTube and look at this guy. He's look like 15, or maybe 20. I mean, I cannot believe
Yeah.
this is the first thing I have to
COVID.
say.
I haven't
No,
cut
you
it yet.
look amazing.
Yeah, Jenny actually likes it. I do it because of the guys at the shop. You know, all the guys are getting thin on top. You know, I just
Uh-huh,
do this. You
uh-huh,
know.
uh-huh. No, you look like a 15 with those hair. I don't have such a cool hair right now. But how old, how old you was when you start doing your pictures?
Well, 2013. So what is that? That's from 21. Do a little math. What is that? That was 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
8 years.
So I
Yeah.
think it's incredible, Tom, that you decided to
That was
start completely
nothing.
new
So that's
thing.
really nothing.
Never, it's like, it just tells me like it's never late. Wherever you have in your mind and wherever you listen, like who else listen right now, please guys, just look at this example. I invite you to my podcast because I inspire by you so much. It's never late to do whatever you like and then be successful in it. Because
Oh, here's the secret. My father told me this, all right, and it was kind of sad because you know he worked a long time and he retired, and him and my mom were going to do all this traveling, and my mom got the cancer, and then all of a sudden that was the deal, the cancer. And he told me one time, my father's he's just a white guy, you know, he don't talk too much. So when he does say something, you pay attention. And he said, listen, you want to do something? You do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. Do it. So I kind of took that to heart. So when I got an idea, you know, Jenny and I want to do something, we do it. You know, like just, hey, you want to go to Iceland? We went to Iceland. You know, you want to, well, we haven't in the past year and a half. In fact, we just booked a trip to go out bicycling in Tucson, Arizona in February. Can't wait. I want to go now. So you gotta do the important thing is when you think of something, do it. Okay, don't wait. You know, I mean, in youth you have the luxury of procrastination. With me, I don't have that. You know, I literally, you know, you talk to photographers, it took me like 15 years. You know, and I do the math, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have enough time. I'm like, I'm going to run out of time here. So, you know, it's got to happen like now. Right now, my learning trajectory has got to be 90 degrees straight up. You know, that's the way it has to be. You know,
yeah,
so
that's amazing. Yeah, I
next year.
totally agree with you. But I just want to know a little more. Like you said that you took a camera and you start doing pictures and you take a bunch of workshops, but like how you actually like find those workshops? Like if anyone listen out there right now and want to start the photographer thing, like what's the best advice you can tell them, like what to actually do if you want to make a nice picture and kind of like learn how to
Here
do
you go. Here, two things. First of all, you got to take the picture. You got to take the camera, put it up to your eye, and take a picture. All right, and then take another one, and then keep taking pictures, and then look at them and say, okay, why does my picture not look as good as Richard Avedon? Why is his picture better than mine? Or what do I like about Richard Avedon's picture that my picture doesn't do? And then you try the next time you take pictures, you try to make an improvement on that. Okay, you know, when we were shooting together, when you were before you went off to be famous in Hawaii, when you were in New York, every time we shot, we did something different, right?
Yes.
We always did something different. We always try to, you know, Jenny's always telling me, shoot something else. So, you know, and I always try to make the next section better than the last session. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, this goes back to when I was playing music. You know, when I was playing music, I tried to play what I heard. Okay, what do I hear in my head? I got to play that. So the important thing is what are you listening to? All right, in order to hear things. Well, it's the exact same thing with photography. It's like, I want to shoot what I see. So the important question is, what are you looking at? All right. So I'm looking at Rembrandt. I'm looking at the way the sun comes through, like tree leaves. I'm looking at the way the light catches the edge of a jaw, or the way the light comes across and accentuates all the folds and texture in the fabric. So, and then it's like, okay, I want to capture that. How do I get that? So, and then you work on it. The other thing is I really enjoy it. So when you really enjoy something, you want to do it,
Yeah.
you really want to learn. And that's important too. So there you go. That's kind of obvious, but important advice.
Oh, that was amazing. It's a great advance, and I think it can be useful in many different things, not only photography. And I'm happy to hear that you said like you gotta like it. So, but this brings me question. So, do you miss music? Like, I know you like the music, that you want to be a musician. You finished the musician university and stuff. So, do you miss that, or it's kind of like?
Well, because you're athletic. Music is you have all your muscle memory, and I played string bass, so it'd be all the muscle memory in your fingers and the calluses and all the other stuff. And if you don't do it for 10 years, it's like an Olympic athlete. It's just you just can't anymore. It's over.
Yeah.
And get back to that level, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But what was important to me, I guess, was the artistic. Not to make me sound like I'm a big deal or anything, but what was important to me was the artistic expressing something. So I could do that with photography. So, and then with digital photography, it's a breeze because you take a picture and you see it immediately. You don't have to, mix up chemicals and, the whole thing. And maybe I got it, maybe I didn't, So I think it's more about artistic expression than it is about the actual medium in which you express that. It could be painting, it could be literature, whatever,
Yeah, absolutely agree. I know exactly what you mean because I fell in love with bodybuilding, but I do that because I'm an actress, as you know, and I like to be on the stage, and I do compete because of that in the bodybuilding competitions because I'm actually an actress. So this is kind of my spirit wants to be on the stage. That's the thing. So I'm totally know what you mean by that. And then I think it's great that you can find those really deep stories and in your pictures, because again, I shoot a lot, guys. People who follow me, they know it, but I love shoot with you. I miss it so much because your pictures is a story. I would say you only one, I think. Yeah, you only one photographer in my career who actually asked me to do my acting stuff on a set. Usually people don't care. They don't like to build a story. And then I so much love it. And I want to talk about this shoot that we got published with you, because I think it's a really cool story shoot, and how you came up with this idea, first of all, to shoot on a train station. And can you tell about like the experience you got that day?
Well, that was an abandoned train station, but they fixed it up. That train line doesn't run at all. In fact, the school buses, it's in Bergen County. The school buses don't even stop. I mean, it's been that long since there been any train. But it's an older train station. So we had the wardrobe that made you look like you were from the 40s, right?
Yeah.
Suitcase and all, right? And then, okay, we're at this train station, and I had a nice look where you had the rails going off into the distance, and you had the train station. So, but there's no train that's ever going to come, right? I mean, literally, there's no train. So that was what I was trying to convey, was like, here you are waiting for a train that's never going to show up, okay? And through the night, I adjusted the shutter speed so it would get darker. And remember, Jenny was up on a ladder shooting the fog in a can.
Tell everyone what she did. What we used the baby powder.
Yeah, right. So, and then you know, okay, so what happened? How do you end the story? Well, you know, you look off in the distance, there's no train coming, so you just start walking down the tracks, right? And
Yeah.
there's your story, right? And then what you said with the baby powder, you know, that with the Humvee, you know, that you know, he's actually reached out to me. He wants to do something. I'm trying to come up with some ideas because you just can't, you know, drive a Humvee into the house, and, you know,
Yeah.
with a 50 caliber gun on top of it. But that was legendary. I like that. And you really hit the strong, powerful woman thing going there. You know how a woman has to do
Yeah.
battle every day. You know, so
Yeah,
that
that
was
was an
cool.
amazing shoot too. Yeah. I wish it could be published one as well.
You know, maybe when you edit this, maybe on YouTube you can show the photos so people know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
for sure. I could do that. But all the information, all the pictures, guys, you also can find on Tom page, right? On your Instagram or on your Facebook page. And I'm gonna leave all the descriptions down below that people can find you. And if you guys don't follow Tom yet, you gotta follow him because he posts every day incredible shoots and incredible pictures. I love it. I love it so much. And it's kind of interesting because when we met, you were still kind of learning, right? So I totally can see your pictures when we just met our shoots, right? And then what do you post right now? And then it's just such a huge,
I told you
amazing difference. Yeah,
it has to happen right away. It has to happen right away. So
yeah.
okay, the other thing is I really like capturing. That's why I like working with you because of the actress. I like capturing expression. Okay, and I try to. Okay, I do have a little art experience. So how much of the picture, the whole photo experience, how much of that is the viewer, the actual person looking at it, and how do you get the viewer to engage with the photo? Okay, actually, like, you know, you're scrolling on Instagram. How do you stop and look at it, you know, for like a millisecond? You know, you can do it with a you know, with a cute naked woman. Okay, great. Everybody does that. Who cares? So I try to do it with expression and with color, and then the exact opposite with black and white. I try to get it with, you know, all the contrast between the white and the black and the gray and the textures and the shadows and the whole thing. So I try to engage. I try to engage the viewer, and I think that's very important. You know, and that's just like music. When you're playing music, you know, well, the person that's listening to it, that's an integral part of the entire experience. So there you go, right?
Yeah, no, I
That's a
think
thing.
you're absolutely doing this great. You really can do something on your shoots. Like sometimes when I was shooting with you and you got some idea, sometimes I was feeling like, oh wow, I don't think it's actually gonna be cool. It's so it's like it's not looking nice together, like about outfit or the makeup or lipstick or I know or shoes or maybe some background or lighting. But I trust
Right?
you. And then eventually that's what's captured me as an audience. When I after that I saw the picture, like, whoa, that's actually so cool. So I think you're a
Yeah.
really great artist. You have this kind of like a mindset and like a vision how you want it, you know. And then people just
Right.
can trust you. You're not just the photographer who doing pictures and not even know what they doing, right? I like that. That's I think why you grow so much and you have such a great pictures. That's because of this. You are
Well,
talented.
well, you mentioned something that's really important. You know, trust is really important. You know, I always make a joke about first rule of photography: don't touch the model. You know,
Yeah.
um, right? Trust is really important, and hopefully, you know that when we shoot together, we're going to have some pretty cool stuff. You know, like we did that one shoot at the studio at the Little Falls there with the white and black boxes. Remember that? And had the orange lights behind it, and you were dressed up like Che Guevara, you know, in like revolutionary garb. Yeah, you know, and the whole thing was that goes back to a Gil Scott Heron song about how the revolution will not be televised. And there you are, revolutionary gear, and it looks like the city's on fire behind you, right? And that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was learning at that point. Now, were I to shoot that again, which I probably wouldn't, but because I did it already. If I shot that look again, I would submit that. That would get published. That would be a cover, you know. So because I know what they're looking for now, you know. I know how to, you know, construct the photo. I know how to. I know what they like, so, and I know certain magazines like certain things. So it's all, you know. I'm paying attention.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually was my next question for you. So you are having a business, a big factory. You have your wife,
Yeah.
and then you have some photographer career. So how you actually manage all of this? Because you were a busy guy, and then you even show up on the podcasts, right? And then you publish your pictures. So how you manage all of this? It's crazy.
No, it happens. It happens. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm at work and I might be direct messaging someone about photography, you know, and I got to watch out for the boss. Oh, wait a minute, I'm the boss. So it's okay. You know, I mean, you know, you have to, you know, you concentrate on what's important, you know. And like I said, you know, I'm 66, you know, so I got to make almost every minute count, you know. They all have to count now, you know.
Have you think
So,
about this when you was younger? Like, have you imagined that you're gonna be a so famous photographer
no,
or something like
no,
that?
no, 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 no,
You
no.
you want to be a musician, right? I guess.
Well, I was a musician, and I made a living as a musician, yes.
Yeah.
But no, when I first started playing and decided to go to school to learn more about it, you know, at that time, if you, let's say you had an event like a wedding or something, and you wanted to have music, you would actually have to hire somebody to play it for you. Okay. But I was right at the tail end of that, right around 73, 74, 75. All of a sudden, disc jockeys became important, you know, and it made sense. You know, people knew the song for the radio because we had radio. Um, and at the wedding, they would want to hear exactly what they heard on the radio. Okay. So a live performance will not be that. So they had disc jockeys. So all of a sudden, if you wanted to have music, you didn't necessarily have to hire somebody to play it. So that sucked.
Yeah.
So I, you know, so it was difficult. It became more and more difficult, you know, to earn a living as a musician. I mean, in the 50s, in the 1940s, absolutely, but in the late 70s and 80s, not happening. So I had to go do something else. And it's almost the same thing with the photography. Nobody reads magazines anymore, so why am I publishing in magazines? So I guess I guess there's a pattern. I get into, you know, I become obsessed with mediums that are on the way out. You know, maybe I don't know. You know, who knows? Maybe wagon wheels will be the next thing. You know.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
Tom, we
so
are on my vegan booty talk podcast, right? So I gotta ask you this question anyways. You
okay.
you look yeah, you look amazing. So I have to ask, like, what do you eat or what do you do for exercise? Because again, I am not sure what do you do, but guys, listen out there. When we shoot, he go down on the floor. He stand up, he move around, he could lay down, he doing pictures from upstairs. So you would never know that you are old. You are moving around a lot. So what do you do? Do you exercise? Do you have a special diet?
Well, not as well with the virus and everything. Not as much as I was. You know, Jenny's quite the exercise buff. You know,
Mhm.
she'll go for 4 hours at a shot. You know, and you know she really kicked my ass. You know, as far as biking, you know, and skiing. So before the virus and all that action, you know, we would bike a lot. Now, of course, I'm doing the photography on the weekend, so maybe not so much. Eating, I mean, she's Sergeant Carb. You know, I mean, she's got me on the tofu and the spinach. Not very much meat. Although when we go to Flushing, though, forget it. We're having Bowser. Sorry. Uh, you know, and you know she keeps a strict eye on what I eat. I'm like, all right, fine. Plus, with all my my health issues, you know, I had a quadruple bypass 15 years ago.
Oh,
And, you know, the diabetes and all that. Basically, food is, you know, it's like I'm hungry and I put this in my mouth and swallow and I'm not hungry anymore. I mean, is that's all done. And believe me, I earned my bypass for sure. I earned it. And you know, food is almost like porno. I watch other people eat. You know,
yeah.
go ahead, you eat, I'll watch it. You know, so yeah, it's mostly you know, even though I'm not a you know, confirmed you know, vegan, I eat you know, a lot more vegetables and plant-based items than I used to. I mean, actually, probably most of it is. So there you go. That's what I eat, and exercise is mostly cycling. So
Yeah, awesome. You mentioned that the COVID changed your life. So I want to know, how about your business and your photography thing? Is the COVID hit you in the ass, or it's actually you maybe get better while quarantine happened? Because in New York, it was crazy.
well, my company was allowed to stay open,
Mm,
believe it or not, because we do work for medical facilities
I
and,
see.
and it's a factory, so it's big. It's easy for people to stay far apart. And since it's a woodworking company, you know, we have masks that we wear, you know, because of dust and other stuff. So right at the beginning, like in February, I had everybody wearing masks. Now, you know, Jenny's Chinese, so we knew about it. I knew about what was happening in China before it came here. In fact, we sent a bunch of masks to our mom. Um, so I had everybody in masks right away, and we were allowed to stay open. I got some government money, so you know, we kind of stumbled through. So now, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. We had a whole bunch of work cancel and postpone and everything else. And I knew what was going to happen when things eased up a little bit. All of a sudden, people were going to get on the phone and, you know, like, where's my stuff? So we got ridiculously busy, and we kind of made it through. So there you go. We kind of lucked out, you know. Although I was going to retire in June, just this past June,
Mm-hmm.
but when all that news hit the when all that news started coming out in February, March, I knew, okay, well, that's it. Retirement's not happening. That's over. I'll have to wait another time for that. So that was probably the biggest personal effect. I was actually going to retire and do the photography all the time, but that didn't happen. So, oh well, I do it part time.
Okay, but you
Just
want to?
stick around there.
You want to actually do it a full time?
Well, we'll see. You know, things are when my journey, okay, is and I'm fortunate, so I'm able to do this. I mean, many years ago I wasn't fortunate, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But you know, with the magazines, at first I was paying so I would be published. Okay, and the idea was is I want to get published. Right? So I would pay. Um, and I just wanted a lot of pages. Now what's happening is the magazines are reaching out to me to publish. Okay. And some of them are saying I can publish for free. Others that are a little further up the ladder, which are better magazines, or it's not Vogue yet, but you know, up a little further up the ladder, are giving me like really big discounts on pay. So hopefully at some point people will pay me for their photos, for
Yeah.
my photos. So it's kind of going in that direction. Maybe not as fast as I wanted to, but you know, I tell everybody I already have a business. I'm really not excited about starting another one, you know, with all the
Mhm.
business problems, you know, all the business problems you have, you know, with all the paperwork and, you know, taxes and insurance and all that craziness. You know, I have all of that, you know, so I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Tom. So I also want to ask, we almost finished, but I have a couple more questions. Maybe you can
Sure.
have like advice for someone who waiting to, pursue the similar career to yours in photography. What advice would you give them?
Just take a lot of pictures. Take pictures. Take pictures. It's okay. It's digital. If it was film, it'd be a different story. Take pictures. All right. When you're done, but make sure you take a good picture. All right. Or at least don't show anybody your bad ones. All right. Take a picture and then look at it. Okay. And I was serious. You look at Richard Avedon or Irving Penn or, or whoever, Franny Leibowitz. All right. Look at their picture. Look at your picture. What's the difference? Okay. When you can physically say, I like the way her shadows cast across the back of her hair. I want to do that. Now you've got a mission. Okay, I want to learn how to set up a rim light and get that nice glow in the hair. Okay? The other thing is if you can afford it, I know some people can, and no problem. Most of these people are young, so they have youth, but not money. See, I have money, but no youth. Okay, youth is better. Take a workshop. Go spend the money. Yes, spend the money. Put off that next lens, and go take a workshop with like Lindsay Adler. She's in Jersey City, or Joel Grimes. He's in Phoenix. Go take a workshop and watch, not the YouTube video. There's a difference between watching a YouTube video, which you should, and actually sitting in a room watching Lindsay Adler take the photo. Actually physically set up the lights, get the effect, take the photo, and then you ask her a question. What did you do? How'd you do that? Why did you do that? And she answers you. There you go. And I think that's wonderful personally, because like really, I'm going to compete with her. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's never going to happen. So she's okay with telling you how to do it. Almost dares you. Like, go ahead, try it. I dare you.
Yeah, I love
that's
it.
how you
I
learn.
love that. Thank you.
So there you go. That's my advice.
Yeah, try it, and I think that's the best thing, to don't be scared to try. And then when you was talking about this, I was actually coming up with the idea. Have you ever think to teach people photography now?
Jenny says that to me all the time. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I would need a little more of a reputation, but yeah, I have thought of it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
Maybe
be cool because you have everything
workshop.
done. Yeah, you have your own studio. I think that would be really cool. I think you're gonna be so successful in that. I agree with Jenny. That's an amazing idea. Okay, I have a last question. What I ask everyone in my podcast. What you will do if it's gonna be your last day on this earth?
I told my okay. I have a financial advisor, and I said I want the income worked out so that I can, because here I am. Of course, I'm old and I'm in a hospital or whatever. I tip the orderly of my last $20, and then I flatline. I want you to work out the money. Can we do that? Anyway, my last day on earth. What would I do my last day on earth? Well, I probably started off on the turnpike because that's how all my days are. I'll tell you when I get there. I'll call you when I get there, because there's so many things I would do. I don't know, stand on top of Mount Everest. Well, maybe not Mount Everest, but stand on top of a mountain overlooking a valley. That would be great. Riding a bike along a coastal highway. Spend it taking pictures of some really creative people and just doing some really cool stuff. That would be great. Having a really delicious meal because it's my last day. I don't have to worry about following my diet, right? Having a really great meal with a bunch of friends and Jenny and her sister and all. I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to do.
Oh, all of those things amazing, Tom. Thank you so much for sharing them. That's incredible. And I actually love your answer that I'll tell you when I get there because you have a whole life in front of you and then you don't need to think about that right now. So I'm so happy for
Yeah.
this answer. And I have kind of like a small game before we finish. So I'm gonna say two things and then you just need to quickly choose one. Sounds good?
Okay.
So coffee or tea? Coffee
Coffee.
or tea? Huh?
Yes. Coffee.
Okay. Black or purple?
Black.
Gym or outdoor workouts?
Outdoor.
Beach or mountains?
Ooh. I'm going to say mountain.
Juice or smoothie?
Juice.
Wine or
Actually, I don't drink, so no choice.
wine or water?
Oh, water. Yeah. Actually, seltzer.
Okay. Chocolate or cream?
Probably cream.
Kiss or hug?
What?
Kiss or hug?
Geese or hog?
Mhm.
Geez. I never had to choose between those two before. I'm gonna say geese.
Okay. Love or sex?
Ooh. No comment.
Love it. Okay, that's it. That
No
was a small
comment.
game.
Excuse me?
That's it. I said that was a small game. We finished with that.
Comment. Sorry.
So thank you so much, Tom. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I enjoyed so much. I think you're an incredible person and people have to know you more. I will be happy to shoot with you again. And everyone out there who listen us, please go ahead and then find Tom on Instagram or Facebook. He is out there posting amazing pictures. You cannot miss that. Before I let you go, do you want to say something to our listeners?
What do I want to say? I want to say, well, thanks for listening. How's that? Because we made it this far. It was quite the commitment, so thank you.
Yep,
Right?
thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you find time and spend it with us. And it's a really, really nice time. Thank you, Tom. And I wish you have an amazing rest of your day.
Okay, you take it easy, okay? Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.